Hey everybody, welcome to Eden Fractal. I'm here with Eric and Rosmari and Perry and Lisa, and we've been having very interesting discussions at our new time. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being here. I'm very excited for the meeting today. Feel free, as always, everybody who's here to jump in and say hello or share any thoughts on your mind. Always happy to hear from you. And also, I suppose I'll just jump right into a presentation as well to show everybody who's watching what's going on here at Eden Fractal and what we're going to be doing, what we've been doing lately, what's on the agenda. So welcome. You can go to edenfractal.com if you're not familiar and learn about all the great tools and innovative games and shows that we're creating here at Eden Fractal. And you can scroll down to learn more about these games and shows and tools and so forth. Most people already are familiar with it here, but of course, one thing I recommend doing to check out recent episodes, go up to the top right corner, go to episodes. That takes you to edenfractal.com/videos, where you can check out recent videos. So we've released all the recent episodes, such as the 72nd meeting, where we talk about Optimism Fractal benefits and the new Optimism Fractal community that we launched and the profound benefits you can create for the Optimism community, as well as many more people around the world with these new fractal processes. We also talked about Galactic gatherings and the recent initiatives that Lisa and Eric have been pioneering in the metaverse with the Interplanetary Unconference, and also the proposal to recommend Lisa and Dwayne on Planet Ike, and more about funding public goods, rewarding public goods, creating an abundant society, regenerative culture, all sorts of good stuff. You can check out these and also check out show notes as well, with the full videos and show notes to learn much more. Big shout out to Rosmari for writing these excellent articles as well. And also for Rosmari for putting out the welcome post too. So you can join us at t.me/edenfractal throughout the week. Feel free to ask any questions. And we also have an RSVP link here where you can sign up for weekly reminders. I made it a little prettier too with some cool colors going around. And then you can find more links here too. That's at lu.ma/edenfractal. And of course, you can find all our videos at edencreators.com/@edencreators. These are all the Eden Fractal videos, as well as the Optimism Fractal new video and some recent clips we made from Eden Fractal and Optimism Fractal, and a bunch of really cool shows. Eric's also been putting out some cool YouTube channels too, or cool YouTube videos too, that I'll show in a little bit. So we're going to play the respect game, and this comes from Fractally. You can learn about the Fractal white paper. We've been doing this for the past year and a half or so. Basically, if there are breakout rooms, then we'll go into breakout rooms, but we just have us right now, so maybe we'll just stick in one room, and then we'll each share what we do for about 3 or 5 minutes, and then we'll each use the Fractalgram app to rank each other's contributions and earn respect. And then afterwards, we'll also play Cagendas, and we'll use the Eden Plus Fractal process that DOS designed back in like week 23 or something like that, a long time ago. We've been doing for a long time. So in the Cagendas game, basically people can propose topics, and I know Lisa said she had a topic that she was interested to discuss. We were discussing it beforehand, so we can get into that in about 45 minutes or so after the respect game. And everybody's welcome to check out edenfractal.com/welcome. Where you can learn more about Cagendas, basically how you can take part in creating agendas and choosing discussion topics and guiding the journey of Eden Fractal as we go through this process. We use the consortium app that Vlad built, and we also have a new system in addition to consortium too, where we can just make topics directly in Notion too. We've been doing this for the past 12 weeks or so forth. You can learn this in the edencreators.com/tropics. We have a couple of videos and shows where we discuss more details about this new system, and I'll share the link in the Eden Fractal Telegram chat to the topics that I put up on the agenda, and I'll also have Lisa's topic here. And feel free, most people here have permissions. If you don't have permissions on this database, then feel free to let me know. I can give you permissions, or also I can just add it for you. So you can either add it on consortium or here, or just let us know in the Cagendas game afterwards, whatever topics you want to discuss. As a high-level overview, I mean, first off, there's some details about how this works in the top section about agenda and topic overview. And then also there's a little notice about the new schedule of Eden Fractal. So we discussed this last week, and now we're starting at 16 UTC rather than 15:30 UTC. There's also some reasons to be more respectful of everybody's time and have more preparation and stuff. There's some links here where you can learn more and help accommodate new meetings. Like, for example, Lisa hosted a green room discussion beforehand of this week's Eden Fractal meeting, and Eric has been hosting Fractalpalooza events and open mic nights over the past couple weeks, and he's got another one coming today in the metaverse, which is really cool. That's a topic that I have on the agenda. We'd love to hear from Eric about this. He said he asked who will be the first to find hidden objects in the Center for Governance, and we also released the video of the Fractalpalooza where we discussed with the creator of Fractally, Dan Larimer, and Gregory Wexler from the Fractal team, as well as many great pioneers from the Fractal communities. So big thanks to Eric for hosting that. In addition to, I'd like to share some news about the Optimism Fractal. We started this about a week and a half ago, and we're now hosting Optimism Fractal meetings every Monday at 17 UTC. Everybody who's welcome in growing communities and fractals is welcome to join, as well as everybody who's interested in optimism and growing optimism. Super excited about this. I've been working with Rosmari and Vlad to DOS on this, and you can find more details at optimismfractal.com and the Optimistics Twitter account, which we just launched as a brand to promote a lot of stuff we're doing with the optimism community and to help build tools to grow optimism. So I'd also like to maybe go into that as well, the Optimistics after in the Cagendas game, and also want to make everybody aware that there's a new Gitcoin grants round. There's approximately, I think, $500,000 or so that people can earn on Ethereum by helping out create public goods. We can go into that. And if Tadas joins or Vlad joins, Tadas really came out with a really interesting article about higher order fractals that I know he wanted to discuss pretty soon. Get an alarm. My apologies about that. And then Vlad has also been working on, he actually recently just launched the ZEOs Fractal, and they had their first meeting, and he's been working on developing an article and stuff, or he wrote an article and making videos. So just want to raise awareness about that. And Vlad said he'd be interested in coming on soon once it's a little bit more developed to share an overview. And then there's a couple more ideas here that maybe we can discuss about using tools on EVM that we've been moving with the Optimism community. But those are just some topics, and feel free, of course, if anybody wants to add any topics, we can be pretty casual about it. And if anybody has anything else on your mind, then feel free to let us know. But with that, I suppose we can get started with the respect game, which I have here. This is at fractally.com, where you can learn more. And basically what we're going to do is each share what we've been doing to help Eden Fractal and help each other and help grow communities with these wonderful fractal innovations. And then we'll use Fractalgram to rank those contributions and earn respect. But of course, too, if anybody has any thoughts that you want to share first, we can keep pretty informal. So if anybody wants to go ahead first and share what they've been doing to help out, then feel free to kick us off. Or if you have any other thoughts in your mind like to share beforehand, perhaps Eric, if you want to share a few words about the upcoming event afterwards, or if anybody else has anything on your mind, then feel free, and the floor is now open. Thanks all.
Nobody's going first?
Hey, Barry. Not yet. There hasn't been any volunteers. Do you want to be the first?
I'll be happy to. I'll be happy to.
All right, great. Thank you.
Well, I am here to announce that I am proud to announce that I have been expunged from Upscale, the Upscale group. Yeah, I have been officially given a 180-day suspension due to my lack of contributing funds to the DD funds, the common group fundage account that is being targeted for the projects of a small group of people. That's what's going on. So yesterday I received a notice of such, and it's, if you watch the video, and if you're a member of Eden, you'll be able to watch the video. You can go in and watch yesterday's I believe it's yesterday's tech dev video, which is probably the quickest way to get an overview of what they're planning and my response to it. And essentially what they're planning to do is exactly, which is amazing to me to just hear it now from Lisa, and in fact some of the same people are involved. Exactly what Lisa described happening on the Alien Worlds group is happening in Eden, including, like I said, some of the same individuals. They are raiding the treasury. They are planning on disabling the software that runs the elections and distributes the funds, and gaining access to that treasury, and then distributing that treasury to their own projects. That's what's going on, and that's what I strongly objected to, and I I objected to it, and on the other hand, I refused to make the payment, which they uh, are saying which they're demanding that I make a 50% of the funds that I received as a chief delegate to this fund. Now, I never said that I would never be making the payment. That's key. I didn't specify when I was going to make it. But the real reason why is that I am strongly objecting to what they are doing, to the rating of the treasury. And I couldn't be more proud of that decision and my decision to bring light to what they are doing. Eden, now named Upscale, started off as an honest effort by Dan Larimer and his colleagues to decentralize governance. It was a genuine effort towards decentralization and moving that envelope forward. What they have done over the past months is completely reverse that. They have done everything they can to not decentralize governance, but to in fact centralize governance in their own hands and in their own pockets. And that's exactly what they've done. They've taken the funds, and instead of the individual elected delegates deciding what to do with those funds, they're forcing those delegates to deposit their money, 50% of it, to a common fund of which the CDs all control. So that's a force of centralization. They are censoring everybody. They are censoring the objections to that. So that's a further centralization, and to their own personal benefit. For me, it's a destructive rug, and I will say here and now, I'll give a hint here and now that it's not purely financial. What is going on is part of a much larger picture having to do with I'm not going to say the full details, but it is a much larger picture. And when I don't mean just a little bit, I mean I believe this is part of something much larger that includes the expulsion of anything that Dan Larimer has done in our community, and actually goes beyond that. But I'll put it there, that it has to do with getting rid of just like any marauding group that goes over and defeats a people, a civilization. They take away all the symbols and structures of that previous civilization. That's what's gone on, is they're just destroying everything having to do with Dan Larimer in our community. And that's truly unfortunate, because Dan has created one of the greatest contributions to crypto. And I'll even go and say that even though it doesn't get the credit that it does, that it should, one of the greatest steps forward in technology. And I think we're going to recognize that when Bullish, owned by the largest asset manager in the world, BlackRock, launches its exchange, bullish.com. Now that it's launched right now, but actually launches it in the sense of making it known to the public and fulfilling its greater plans. Right now, it's just testing the waters. It's accumulating trading volume, and I don't think we've seen the full launch. Certainly not because we never hear about it in the financial media. and we know that BlackRock owns virtually every media outlet, major media outlet in the world. When that becomes evident that BlackRock has an exchange and what their position is in the crypto economy, I think we'll understand what has happened at Bullish and why Dan no longer is there. That's my guess as to what is going on. So that's the report, and I appreciate the reminder that it's Eric's turn. Eric, you just nominated yourself.
Okay, sure. Every week is catching up with the previous week, so was putting together the Fractalpalooza events and posting those and letting people know where that was. This week it's doing the Center for Governance 3D sneak peek today, and planning that and creating things to post and finding things. Next week we're working on a panel on proposals and getting people help who want to put various proposals up. So that's pretty much it, although I did talk to the university that I've been a part of, which has just got bought by new owners with a much more global focus about metaversal stuff and blockchain stuff. And so that was interesting. At least they're saying the right things. We'll see what actually happens. But that's pretty cool because they have locations in Mumbai and Australia and Dubai and London and now in the US, and putting a master's degree in AI. And so I'm trying to get them interested in some of this stuff too, but we'll see. So that's pretty much it for me is Fractalpalooza, this 3D thing, and getting ready to help people with proposals. So I'll make it short this week and turn it over to Rosmari.
Great work, Eric, and thanks, Perry, for the updates. And thank you all for being here. My updates will be shown momentarily. I'm presenting my screen now. And to begin with, I started working on the Optimism Fractals episodes and the promotion around it. So it's great to see, and I encourage everyone to check out the first episode of Optimism Fractal that was posted 8 days ago. I've been working to make sure that it's thoroughly promoted on Twitter, Discord channels, including Optimism Fractals' own channel, as well as invite everyone to join, and Optimism's groups within the channel. Also, I participated in the second episode that happened this Monday, and I'm in the process of cutting 5 short clips from the first episode and making them more accessible for people to watch. I'm thinking out to upload them to the Optimistics YouTube channel, which is in development. And these clips will show different parts of what we covered in the first episode. For example, who the Optimistics are, what are the Optimism Fractal tools used in meetings, as well as what the respect is used for. And also worked on you can see these messages in Twitter, actually, and follow our Twitter channels on Optimism in the Optimism Fractal's Twitter, and can browse around to see the threads on how we promoted the event with nice pictures. And I specifically created this image for that first episode, or actually the second episode that was just on this last Monday. And also I worked on the optimistics.io blogs page, specifically updated the section here with including nice imageries and putting the blog posts in order in terms of within the blog posts for them to be structurally ordered, but there's still work to do there, and it's all work in process, but this is what I was focused on, as well as just doing some other tweaks here and there. And I also invite everyone to check out the website and to learn more about the Optimism Fractal. And also I attended the Fractalpalooza event hosted by Eric and subscribed to his channel, and invite everyone to subscribe to his channel. And I met Dan Larimer for the first time, actually. That was a pleasant surprise. Thank you very much, Eric, and everyone that joined too. And also I've been keeping up to date with the Optimisms community. This is a great resource, gov.optimism.io. This is their forum where different topics have been posted, and actually we created a topic to promote the Optimism Fractals event from the Optimystics channel. But this is what I'm showing right now is a really good resource that was shared in the meetings this week. Yesterday there were 2 meetings as part of the Optimism within the Optimism community, which are the Citizens Call and the Delegate Community Calls. And yeah, in there I got introduced to very helpful information about how to evaluate retro PGF applications, which is very useful. And this was one of the resources on how they see and fill the gap within the retro PGF round, and an overview of how they are evaluating the applications. And I'll share this in the chat for anyone to read. This is it from me. And over to you, Lisa.
Thank you very much. Hello. I've been thinking about what to say. Oh, if only I had only cheerful things to report. I've long been a fan of community calls, as you know, attending them for, I believe, 5 years now online, and community gatherings in person for more than 11, and sequential, or I should say, yeah, something like that. Anyway, and so Fractal was appealing to me as a mechanism for connecting these earthly gatherings to the blockchain. And there are pros and cons to that. Obviously, privacy is a concern. People interpreting what's happening who aren't necessarily there, either saying small or large numbers matters, things like that. There is that, and many other kinds of risks. But at the same time, there's an opportunity to create and collectively invent new ways that make it easier to make decisions together and allocate resources together and all the good things that are so challenging on Earth. And so I think it's a good opportunity, a good experiment. But like with most things in the metaverse, when I encounter what looks like cheating, I stop. And then I look around and I think, am I stopping because someone wants me to stop because they're trying to do something bad, or because we collectively want to stop, right? And then I spend time thinking about, what do we do about cheating? And so I have to say that takes a good amount of the time that I'm able to commit to things lately. And it seems somewhat intangible, but very important, because if we don't have community resilience, we have nothing. We can hang out online just like we hang out, in people's driveways for events. But the vision of actually being able to help people with new technologies and mechanisms is for naught if cheaters can come take everything. And I've seen that in Alien Worlds and continue to do that. And we've just put forward some proposals to begin the process of identifying how much Trillium was stolen by bots and bot networks, and seeing if we can ask them to send it back as a community resilience exercise, or how we would pursue it through the companies involved or the legal systems on Earth. Because some of us are a little tired of having millions of dollars of value stolen after working so hard on game creation for years. So to turn and see something happen in Fractal this week was quite disappointing. I was invited to a call. I didn't know Alien Worlds Fractals had continued. I thought that the group collectively last to pause until the Fractal software was created so we could properly educate players and have agreements in place before expecting them to do things. But apparently there was a fork that I didn't realize, and the fork included the group who have the keys to the tokens. And so I was asked to come in on a moment's notice to join a group where they were about to vote to give away the tokens to a selected audience. And although I wasn't able to get the full details, it sounded like the idea was that they were going to close it for lack of interest. Well, I'm sure many people either watching this later, attending, or having attended in the past realize there is no shortage of interest in things to do for Alien Worlds players. They love to do things. We love to do things. We've been supporting this for years. And that obviously is an untrue statement designed to create a problem. And so I wonder about the people creating those problems. To me, when we talk about the space, and we talk about fear and fear of governments doing things and regulators and such, we talk about things happening like this, about them coming in and doing things like this. But what it appears is, no, in fact, it is not them. It is our own community members. And so whether there's an intersection there or not, I don't know. But let it be known that there is confusion. And the resolution was to ask me what would make me happy, which is an interesting way to approach it. So at this point, it is unfortunate, like Perry says, sometimes these things, might be to get us to stop and slow down. I've certainly felt that many times over the years, but this is one of those occasions. And I think we ought to go back to the basics of what is it we want to accomplish? What are the goals of the fractal? And do it like on pen and paper if we need to, so that we don't have this collective example of how to take over a community's resources. Because sometimes I feel like I'm a pony in these things, and it's really just to do examples to show people how to take over resources for groups. And it terrifies me to think what those groups might be that we're being ponies for. So I'm saying this on a recording in case any of the people who actually do on Earth know how to look at those things and have better technology access. I would encourage them to find me. I'm on Telegram at Lisa Chandler. And please reach out. I'd love to spend as much time as possible with you to help you understand how to help defend the people on Earth. So that's what I've been up to this week, along with the hackathon distribution. Fractal won first prize for the new Fractal software. Yeah, you see people love it. Yeah, busy week. writing Medium articles and the such for our community, and helping to govern Ike for as long as I can, since we seem to have success of engaging a lot of players. So, yep, that's it. Who's next?
Thank you very much, Lisa, and thank you, everybody. Really awesome to hear from you all, and I really appreciate it. The next person can be either me or Lucas. Great to see you. Hope you're doing well. I imagine that you're the Lucas that we met at Eden Fractal meeting back about a month ago or so. So yeah, I appreciate you joining and come back to say hi. So if you want to go ahead next, then feel free to do so. By the time you join, we were already in the respect game. So I think you figured out we've been just sharing our contributions, what we've been doing to what we've been up to, and how we've been helping the community. So if you want to go ahead and say hello and share what you've been doing first, then feel free. Or if not, then I can go next.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, everybody. Lisa. Very new to this Eden Fractal meetings. I kind of start to try to understand how all of this works. Very interested about how the communities can help each other, and just learning. I've been learning, actually this week I was learning Solidity, smart contracts, Optimism. So I've been doing that. That's like my path to become a smart contract developer. So that's what I've been doing. Thank you.
Sounds great. Well, thank you, Lucas, very much for your interest. That's awesome. And also for your work on becoming a smart contract developer. I applaud you in the effort, and I look forward to seeing the smart contracts you build. That's a skill that's very much needed. If you'd like, we can each take up to like 4 minutes or 5 minutes to share, and I think you only spend a minute. So if you want to just keep it short, then you can feel free. But if you want to share any more details about what you've been up to in the past month since we've seen you, or share any of your thoughts about the fractal process and what you're learning, or share what kind of smart contracts you're building, or anything else that's on your mind, then feel free to go into more detail.
Not much, just learning smart contract development and helping the game DOH, that's UX network. So also been coding their smart contracts. So I'm trying to find my path and do what I can and keep my career on a smart contract developer, focus on that. So that's like the goal right now for the next couple months, and being around the communities, learning from you guys, because I'm very, just as a developer, I could have a very square mind for some things. So this helped me a lot to understand better what the people need, what is good, where I can use my talents to do some good. So usually I could say I could do a smart contract for, I don't know, pets, whatever. But that is something that maybe the people are not going to use. So it's just a waste of resources. So I need to find out what the people need, what will be more impactful, and try to do some good with my talents, some my coding skills, and help somebody with something that could, for example, help the community, or the community or communities that need around.
Lucas, where are you from?
I am in Costa Rica.
I recognize the accent. I can't believe it. Oh my God. Pura vida.
Pura vida,
Pura
Mai.
vida.
Hi. Oh, that's funny. I usually don't recognize accents, but this time I was able to. Wow. Okay. Okay.
All right, well, super cool. Thanks. Good to hear, and good to hear everybody's enjoying the Pura Vida. And we talked about Costa Rica a few times. There's several other community members who have joined Eden Fractal members from Costa Rica, and yeah, all that stuff sounds awesome. Thanks so much, Lucas, for sharing more detail of what you're working on. Sorry if I don't think I'm mispronouncing your name, but feel free to correct me if I am. But yeah, I love your motivation to do good. That's very admirable, and I appreciate a lot. And then also the fact that you're working with dynamics of hegemony, or DOH. I didn't realize, maybe you said it last time, but I didn't remember. But that's really cool. It seems like a lot of great people working on dynamics of hegemony. I know Gnome has joined many Eden Fractal meetings and helped out a lot. He's awesome. Also, Fabiana joined one a month ago or so, and they're building Fractal social games into the game too, and many players. We discussed it here, so that's super cool. Thanks so much, Lucas, for sharing more details and all your great work, and also enjoying and sharing the Pura Vida with us. All right. Yeah. Something else you want to say? Something else you want to add there? Feel free if you do.
No, thank you, everybody. And I hope I could bring more news next month, what I learned and what I can be more impactful. I think that now I need to see what I can use my skills to help most. It looks like, as Lisa says, looks like Eden need a kind of restart. So let's see how that happens.
All right, sounds good. Well, looking forward to seeing with you and working with you in the coming months. And yeah, would love to hear more of your updates. We do host these meetings every week, so you're welcome to join every week if you'd like, or just touch in every month or whenever you want. And looking forward to hearing more and collaborating. And on that, I suppose I'll go ahead and share what I've been doing to help out the community and grow fractals and help you all out and do good stuff for the world. Lots of good stuff for the world. Okay, so lots of stuff. So I have here introducing Optimistics. Rosmari shared this, and I also shared a little bit last week, but this has been a big focus that I've been working on. So we launched the Optimistics brand along with Tadas and Vlad over the past week. Shout out to Rosmari too. She's been doing wonderful work making the art, and I really like we got Smiley, call him Sunny Shades, and he's really cool. I can share more details on him later, but basically I've been working with the team to start Optimism Fractal and then also promote what we're doing here at Eden Fractal and the Fractal community in general to the Optimism community. So this is a brand that we created. We've been thinking about it for, I guess, a month or so, and for longer we're thinking we should make a brand. And I can go more in detail in the Cagendas game, but basically I've been working a lot on this website to help show the Optimism community and the wider Ethereum community and the wider Web3 community and the wider world. I think that Optimistics is a really cool brand, a really cool name, and I love the art and the feelings of it and stuff like that. So working on sharing the fractal innovations with the world and also helping grow optimism. So you can see here, I've been working on the site. I don't know how much of the site I had done last week. I had quite a bit of it done, but I have just been refining it and just improving the language and making the pictures look a bit nicer. Also, there's a bit of an issue with my website application. So some of the things aren't updating right now, but I'm working on getting that figured out so it works better. But yeah, basically, maybe a lot of this was done last week, but so some of it is new, and I've been making a lot of refinements to make it better and better. And then, like Rosmari shared, we're working more on the blog and organizing this better. And so I helped out with that and provided some guidance and helped do a lot of like the structural design aspects to make sure that the site was working correctly. As far as like well, not directly interacting with most of the code, but some of the code and the no code interface that I've been interacting with. I put up this article on the featured page section. So a lot of the writing that I did over the past several months, and also a lot of the writing that Rosmari has done over the past several months, we've been featuring here on the Optimistics blog. So, for example, when we applied for the Optimism Fractal with the Optimism Grants Council, I wrote this detailed history of fractals and how Eden Fractal came to be and how Optimism Fractal came to be, and Eden on EOS, now Upscale, and the work of Dan Larimer and the work that we've done over the past year, all the amazing community members here to make Eden Fractal possible and led to Alien Worlds Fractal and all these amazing things. So this wasn't so much work that I did this week. Most of this was written now about 2 months ago or something like that, but I did curate it and put it along with this nice piece of art that Rosmari did recently, and I featured it, and I've been featuring a lot of the articles here on the website and in other places in the Optimism community to promote resources like this, as well as we have another article here in the blog about Growing with Optimism, or rather Roots of Optimism, that I once again wrote a couple weeks ago or a few weeks ago, but this provides more details. So it's introducing a lot of the history of what we've been doing here at Eden Fractal to the Optimism community and to the wider world and the wider Web3 community as well, and including a lot of the videos we created in text and so forth. I also refined a lot about the tools page too. So This page now includes a little article about tools, as well as some really pretty cool looking fractal art with some innovative tools where we explain pretty quickly the OP fractal stack, which is what we're currently calling it, as far as the tools that Vlad and Das delivered to help start the Optimism Fractal. So it explains it in like a short little paragraph there. And a lot of this was written previously, but I just refined it and made it more accessible because it was kind of a little scattered before and maybe difficult to read. And then you can see next steps. Like I kind of linked to other articles and then talked about how what we're also aiming to do is take a lot of the tools and research and development that we've been aiming to do to bring it to the EVM and the OP stack to help out Web3 in general and branch out. In addition to continuing to help the Antelope community as much as we can, also helping the wider Web3 space and the huge amount of people, the billions of people and the millions of communities that will need to use these essentially very helpful tools for humanity with blockchains. So I curated a little bit of that and our like kind of a little bit of roadmap. This is also work in progress too. And then I also organized like 6 kind of intro articles about tools, which features Fractalgram, Respect, Firmament, Respect Trees, Fractal App and Signals. There's a whole bunch more too. These are just ones that I had like somewhat done and somewhat ready to go. And these are all like kind of ported over from the Eden Creator site. So for example, you can check out Fractalgram and learn more about Fractalgram here. Everybody knows that's the app that we use to vote on Telegram, or not vote, but rather reach consensus. And then I made some little updates to these articles to explain how it interacts with optimism. And so, for example, I linked this video that we created for the first Optimism Fractal meeting. This to show people where we learned. I included a timestamp where we gave a breakdown of it last week. I did some similar things for the other articles, and I worked with Rosmari on getting the language and the images really nice to help promote the Optimism Fractal meeting. And I hosted that on Monday. We're hosting these every Monday at 17 UTC. And as I said before, everybody's welcome to join. I'd really appreciate if people from the fractal communities can join and show their support for Optimism Fractal and help educate all the great people in Optimism about all the cool benefits of fractals. And I think it'll be really helpful for everybody. So yeah, I've been hosting and putting it out. At the second event, there was one new person from the Optimism community who joined named Hadlan, and we formed a good connection and looking forward to collaborating further. And then we're really ramping up our promotion. So we put out several tweets, and we also put out a introductory posts on their governance, on the Optimism governance forum. There's actually another one. Oh yeah, so it's here where we explain how the videos ready to watch, and so people can join and stuff like that. And we're also learning just how to post it too in this community where we haven't engaged in a lot of these places, and we're trying to figure out how to share links and so forth while still working within their moderation policies. And then also I participated in the Fractalpalooza event too. So the Fractalpalooza event, a huge shout out to Eric, who I think was quite understated in his contribution report. But this was an amazing event. There was probably like 15 people there or so. You can see in the little thing I'm hovering over. And there's more people who are listening, who I guess aren't shown on video here. Dan Larimer was there. So it's great to hear from Dan Larimer, the creator of Fractally Immortal Animals. And I gave a 5-minute presentation about Eden Fractal and about Optimism Fractal. Well, it's kind of split between. So I was promoting both of these communities and then interacting a little bit and thanking everybody for all their support and all the amazing innovators like Gregory and Joshua and Douglas and Joe and all the great people. So putting that out there. I've also been making an application for the Optimism Grants Council too. This is the Grants Council that we applied to at the Optimism Fractal community. And I'm just about to put that out actually. So this is kind of like a lot of text, but this is what I've been working on over the past day or so forth to both promote the Eden Fractal community, because all these things are promoting Eden and what we've been doing here, while also conveying how what we're doing can help for optimism, while also hopefully getting me some work within the Optimism community where I can help out the Optimism community while also making some funding too that can help support the community further. And I linked some articles that Rosmari put together about the Optimism Grants Council where we discussed this in more detail. So that was kind of just an additional thing there. Lastly, I also joined the Optimism Citizens House and Token House calls, and I spoke at these calls, and I introduced Optimism Fractal, and I promoted the event. There was like 30 people on the call or so forth, and so I just shared a quick thing for like 3 or 4 minutes, just kind of following up on the last week where I introduced it and inviting everybody to join and giving people some links where they can learn more. And I also asked some questions about potential integrations with Retro PGF, which is their big funding initiative for retroactive public goods funding that I've been working with Tadas and Vlad and Rosmari on figuring how we can assist them in better allocating funds to public goods and rewarding public goods creators with the fractal processes. And that is my presentation. My apologies if I went a little bit over. I'm going to try in the future to get more timely and get under 5 minutes every time. But hope you all enjoyed. I hope that I think it was still pretty short, but anyway, that is mine. And if anybody has any questions or comments, we did start the breakout room or the respect game a little bit late, so there's no huge rush and we could play it pretty casual, but we should do Fractalgram pretty soon and start reaching consensus. And then we can first off, the floor is open if anybody has any questions or comments for anybody in the group, and perhaps specifically related to the contributions that people made that could help you better understand how to rank people's contribution in their spec game, and then we can get into more detailed discussion afterwards. So with that, does anybody have any questions or comments that you'd like to share? Or has anybody started to set up the Fractalgram group? Or does anybody want to? If not, then I can, although if anybody else has done it, that would be appreciated. All right, I'm creating the Fractalgram group now and inviting everybody. And I see Rosmari says, be right back. Sounds good. I'm sharing the link to the Fractalgram group in the Zoom chat right now. And so far, I invited Perry and Rosmari, and I'll try to just manually invite everybody else too. But you can just click that link to join. All right, so far everybody's here. Okay, cool, everybody's here. So now we're doing the account prompt. So please enter your EOS account as a reply to this message. And we now have responses from everybody, except for Rosmari. She said be right back. So Rosmari, if you can hear us, please enter when you get a chance. And in the meantime, I suppose it's best maybe just to wait for her for a moment. Maybe has any thoughts? I know everybody was very talkative before we started recording, so I know people are probably holding in the topics for the Cagendas games afterwards, but if anybody wants to share a few thoughts now, then feel free. I'll also send a message to Rosmari as well. All right, well, I sent Rosmari a message, and it seems like she's not seeing it now. I think she'll be back momentarily, but I just started up the level 6 poll, so we can vote without Rosmari for the time being, I suppose, unless you all want to wait for another moment. No, I'm happy to wait as well, but just don't want to keep everybody waiting for too long if you're in a hurry.
Hello. There's already 6 subscribers in the group.
Hey, Rosmari. There's 6 members. Yes, it's all the 6 people in the group.
But I haven't joined yet.
Oh, I invited you to the group. When it gives you the option to create it, it just like gives you people to invite. And so I saw you and Perry right there, so I clicked on both your names. If you could please enter your EOS account as a part of the message, I'd appreciate it, and then we can get into the consensus.
Yeah, sorry for the delay.
No problem. It looks like there's 5 people voting so far. So far, we haven't yet received a vote from Perry. Perry, would you like to? Oh, actually, no. I missed it. We haven't received a vote from Eric. Would you like to vote in the poll, Eric? Okay, so now we have some votes in. We have 1 vote for Lucas, 2 votes for Eric, and 3 votes for me. So thanks all for voting me. I voted for Eric, largely because the Fractalpalooza. Well, all the other cool stuff that you were doing sounded really awesome as well. So I'm excited about that. But I think it was really great that you brought together all the Fractal communities and heard that. And that event was a huge success. We were actually talking a little bit about that before we started recording as well. So I'm happy to go either way. If anyone wants to switch the vote for me, then we could. Or if anyone wants to switch to Eric or anyone else in the group, feel free as well. And it looks like somebody switched their votes. So now Eric up. Eric has 80% consensus.
I just switched. Yeah, I had to give the Dan Larimer appearance massive credit. You're exactly right, Dan. Yeah, that was quite special. That was quite special.
Okay, sounds good. Now we can put level 5 up.
Okay.
And we have so far
We have consensus.
5 votes, and it looks like I have 4 out of 5 consensus. So thanks everybody. I appreciate that.
Oh, wow. Mine is changing by the second.
Somebody changing their vote in there?
Well, now it's settled down to you.
Okay.
Call it. Oh, 100% Rosmari.
Rosemary's pulling away with 100% level 4. Congrats and thank you, Rosemary. Much respect. Much respect to everybody, of course. You're welcome. Everybody here, I should say. All right, and there's one person who hasn't yet submitted their vote yet. I think Rosemary hasn't yet submitted it.
I have submitted.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Okay, so now we have another split. We have Lucas with 3 votes, Lisa with 2 votes, and Perry with 1 vote. Would anybody like to share their thoughts?
I'm going for Lucas because he's starting off his journey here, and he's doing his smart contract stuff, and he's from Costa Rica. So I'm so happy that there's so many people that seem to be popping up in Costa Rica. So, and we need more people who are doing development and showing up here. That would be awesome if we had a lot of. We do have great developers here, but it's not. We can have more. We can always have more. So that's a great thing. And Lisa and I were just big talkers.
Well, I certainly wouldn't say that. I mean, in addition to being big talkers, you're also doing excellent work too.
Yeah.
That's very, very helpful.
I'll speak for myself. I'm a big talker. I'm just a talker.
Okay.
Lisa's busy.
I think in addition to talking, Perry, you're talking about things that are important for, well, you're sharing your experience and sharing important educational content as we're learning the best ways to cooperate with communities and learning the best ways to conduct the way that people coordinate in these new ways and coordinate peacefully and stuff like that. So sometimes talking big is very, very helpful and much needed. Sometimes the most helpful thing.
Thank you, Dan. Yeah, this is a giant experiment, and I didn't expect it to get to the level of values and to get to the level of people's values, personal values. But it seems like it's coming down to that. It started off on blockchain, but I think at some point we're going to recognize that it's still about people, and that's one of the lessons I'm learning. Although we want to push it away from that, at the moment, we're still at the space where it's still very much about people and values and morality and that kind of thing. So just a lot of learning of how to go forward with governance. And I appreciate Dan, you hosting all these spaces and allowing people to experiment and learn and share. Thank you. That's why I voted for you.
All right. Well, you're very welcome. And yeah, thank you very much, Barry. I appreciate it a lot.
Oh, did I just? Oh, Lord. Okay.
At the same time, it is difficult because Lisa's been doing really great work too. And I think Lisa also originally invited Lucas, if I'm not mistaken, too.
Yeah.
Which is a big contribution in itself, too.
There you go. Okay, one more. We need to get one more. Lisa. One. Abandoned Perry. Abandoned. There we go. Uh-oh. Is 60? Will 60 do it? Does 60 do it?
Not quite yet. No, we have to get to 2/3. That's 4 to 6 in order to reach consensus. And it looks like we have consensus for Lisa now.
Okay. Well, I'll be willing to take the consolation prize of delegate. I'm happy to take delegate at this moment. If no one else wants it, somebody else wants it, then that's fine.
Okay, Perry's up in the running. I'm going to check out the spreadsheet and see who is a delegate now. It's like I can share my screen. But I could probably just tell you, it's probably easier. So currently, 4 weeks ago, it was me and Eric. 3 weeks ago, it was Perry and Das. Last week, it was just Rosmari, it looks like. I don't know if we had 2 breakout rooms, and maybe I'll check on chain to verify if anybody remembers being.
We had one.
Oh, we had 1 breakout room. Okay, okay. So yeah, I'd be happy to support Perry. I'd also be happy to run too because my term is going to be ending as of next week. If anybody else is interested in being a delegate, then I'd be happy to hear too. Is anybody else interested in being a delegate? Okay, and it looks like it's just me and Perry. And Perry, do you have a strong preference either way?
No, go for it, Dan.
Okay, well, yeah, my term is expiring sooner than yours. My term will be expired next week, so maybe it makes more sense if I get it this week, and then maybe you be delegate next week, or something like that.
Sounds good.
Okay. Okay, well, in that case, I'll vote for myself as delegate. And it looks like we have consensus. So I will put out the consensus results now. And I'll request that everybody please click where it says results can be submitted here at the bottom. Oh, for some reason, level 2 didn't work. I don't know why it didn't work there. So maybe I'll, before anybody submits there, I'll just manually enter. Oh, maybe we had to do the, I'm sorry. I think I was preemptive in doing this because what we did level 3. Kind of my fingers now because I got confused. So Eric got level 6, I got 5. Rosemary got level 4. Lucas got level 3. Oh, I did the level 3 poll twice. So I will just delete this and then I'll put out the level and also delete the level 2 poll. And then if everybody can just revote again for Lisa as level 2, then that'll make it work properly. Okay, now it's correct. So now I'll request that please click where it says here on the bottom and submit the consensus results on chain. So everybody gets their respect.
Did I hear a dog?
I think I did hear a dog. I think Eric's got a dog if I remember correctly. I think I remember hearing about him.
A dog sitting right here.
Oh, nice.
That was a warning woof.
The dog had a good day. Went out and chased peacocks. It's always a good time.
Okay, cool. Well, I think I've heard you talk about the peacocks before as well with your dog. If I maybe I'm misremembering, but well, it sounds like your dog is living the life. So go get him,
Well,
dog.
occasionally the thing about peacocks is that, you know, especially if you get like 6 of them, she'll chase 1 or 2 and the other ones stay right there and turns around and she goes gets them. There's
Okay.
1 or 2 still there. So it's a good chase because you'd think they would all just go, oh crap, dog, I'm out of here, but they don't.
Yeah, I guess they get kind of lazy, and I'm guessing maybe your dog isn't that large or intimidating either.
Oh, if that dog is fast, it's a bullet. It's
Okay.
all muscle. Very nice dog, but it's fast.
Okay. Cool. Well, maybe we can have a dog day here at Eden Fractal sometime where people share their dogs. As many people know here, I often go by Dog Man sometimes, the alter ego, and well, I love dogs too, and I think lots of people in the community do. Most people love dogs. But anyway, we can also talk about the other topics on the agenda. So if you like, I can represent the agenda that I shared before of topics I had in mind. Also, I know there's something that you were sharing that you're quite inspired by, Lisa. So feel free if you want to bring that topic up and we can get into it. Also, I see Eric shared me a message with the hosts of Alien Edition in the metaverse, which I think might be related to the 3D objects that Eric is going to be sharing in about 40 minutes or so. We're going to be going into the Center for Governance and the spatial game / metaverse. So looking forward to that very much. If you wanted to provide a little introduction or overview of that, Eric, feel free. Or I see Lisa's unmuted too, and Perry's unmuted too. So yeah, I'm happy to share an agenda with topics to spark off the conversation. And there's some exciting stuff I want to share, but I also shared a lot of it during my respect game breakout room presentation. So if anyone wants to go ahead and ask anything to anybody or wants to share something on your mind, then feel free. Oh, and I see Lucas said that he has to leave. Thank you very much, Lucas. I really appreciate you and looking forward to seeing you again soon. And hope you have a great day and Pura Vida. And then also too, another option too is if we did want to wrap it up early anytime too, because I know we do have another meeting coming up in 40 minutes or so, 43 minutes. Then that's another option that we could do too. But happy to stay and share these topics. I have some exciting updates that I can share. And I'm also curious to hear if Lisa, Eric, Rosmari, and Perry have any thoughts on your mind or anything you'd like to discuss. Follow up. But lastly, I did want to just encourage everybody to check out the Optimism Fractal that we're hosting. Perry, I would very much appreciate it if you can join if you're available then. I know you said you're interested at some point. I'd be happy to discuss if you have any questions. And also anybody who's watching, we'd really appreciate it if you check it out, optimismfractal.com. We've been working a huge amount on this project, and we believe that it's a huge opportunity for all fractal communities and really all communities in the world to cooperate better, to use these tools that we've been refining for fractals and use these processes that we've been developing for years to help people collaborate and to help people earn the respect that they deserve and share all the amazing things that we've done for Eden Fractal the past year and Genesis Fractal and AW Fractal and so many other fractals and great stuff and bring it to this much larger community. And the more that we can show up, so far it's been mostly our core team, and we've had a couple, we have one of the members from the Optimism community, and we're planning to ramp up our marketing promotions a lot. But it would be really helpful for both what we're doing here at Optimism Fractal and this new brand Optimistics, and also for Eden Fractal and all fractals, if we can show up with many people who can help teach and help share the great things that we're doing at the Optimism Fractal meeting. Of course, there's no pressure. If you're not able to make it, then that's okay too. And we're going to do lots of promotion and invite lots of people in the community. But just want to put that out there. And for anybody who's watching, maybe I'll reiterate next week too, and maybe I'll reiterate early in the week next week when we have more people here. But yeah, you can find it at optimismfractal.com and lu.ma/optimismfractal. And then you can also check out our new website, optimistics.io, where you can check out the blog and videos and tools. If you want to learn more about what we're doing, this is all in development, but there's also a lot of really helpful information here already. So I encourage you to explore. And if you're not familiar with optimism, we have several articles at optimistics.io /blog, such as Growing with Optimism, where we have a video with an intro to the Optimism Collective, where you can see an Eden Fractal meeting with a 10-minute discussion and presentation I shared about what is optimism back in the 66 meeting when we first talked about optimism here in detail. So that's a good overview. And there's also an excellent article that Rosmari wrote, where you can find lots of links there. And then Rosmari also wrote a lot of this article introducing the Optimism Collective, which you can also find the blog with more details too, lots more details. And we're going to be working on refining this to help everybody enjoy the benefits of fractals and optimism. We appreciate if you follow Eden Fractal on Twitter, Optimism Fractal on Twitter, Eden Creators on Twitter, Optimistics _ on Twitter, and like and retweet and share the word. There has been a small amount of people at our recent meetings, and so we are working on promoting it more because we're doing really, really helpful stuff, and we have to start benefiting a lot more people soon. But yeah, Perry, I really appreciate you joining and sharing all your thoughts and helping to lead the community as well as everybody else. And of course, Rosmari too. Thank you so much for helping to lead our community and all the amazing work that you've been doing. And I look forward to collaborating with you much more on all the great stuff we're doing. We have a Discord as well for Optimism Fractal, which you can find on the contact page, optimismfractal.com/contact, and t.me/Eden Fractal for more on Eden Fractal. I should probably wrap it up here, but you can see on the screen where you can learn more. And I appreciate everybody listening and appreciate all the great conversation today. If anybody has any last thoughts before we wrap it up, I don't want to wait too long for Eric's meeting because he might be waiting for us. But yeah, thanks again, everybody. I really appreciate it. And with that, I will say maybe 3, 2, 1, go Eden Fractal, grow Eden Fractal, peace and love, everybody.
Peace and
Hope
love.
everybody fill their hearts with peace and love. And really appreciate everybody being here. Thanks, Perry. Thanks, Rosmari. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Thank you.
See you next week.
Thanks, then. See you.
Bye.